Content warning. Echo can be emotionally intense experience and may not be for everyone. Echo contains themes of adult nature, including violence, torture, drug usage, and harsh language. Viewer discretion is advised. I looked up, kind of hoping to see Kudso, but instead I was greeting with the sight of Clint headed in my direction. My grip tightens on the camera, watching as he approaches around the bend of the tracks. He doesn't see me at first. As he gets to the tracks, he hops onto one of the metal rails, balances there, walking along like a tightrope. Does anyone in Echo just come here to take a walk? I think about walking around the train car out of his line of sight and hide until he passes me. While I'm thinking this, he loses his balance and stumbles off the rail, and that's when he looks up. Of course, I'm the first thing he sees, and we both just sort of stand there watching each other. I don't know what to do. God said Clint probably didn't remember anything from last night, but I'm not willing to bet on it. It does look like he's not even sure who I am, though. His eyes are squinted, almost shut, mouth all screwed up as he scratches his head comically. He leans forward, almost to the point of falling over again, definitely on something. At that moment, a look of recognition spreads across his face and his mouth opens wide. Then he starts jogging straight for me. The abruptness of his movement startled me, and I almost dropped the camera. I angled myself away from the car so I'm not backed up against it and started taking steps back as he gets closer. He stops, though, about 10 feet away and points at me. Hey, I know you! I'm at a loss for what to say. He's wobbling back and forth, his eyes wide open. Your name! There's an awkward pause to try to determine whether or not he's asking a question. My name? Chase? Why did I tell him that? You're Leo's friend. Friend. I'm distracted again because that's when I see the handle of a pistol just poking out from his waistband and Clint's jeans. Clint glares. Fucking Leo, what do you hang out with that creep? I'm looking around trying to decide the best way to escape in case he loses it. I mean, he's always saying shit to me, always saying shit about my dad. He had a perfect fucking life and rubbed it in my goddamn face. I take a few unconscious steps back so that the end of the car is right next to me in case I have to duck behind it. I don't think Leo's life was that easy. It was pretty bad back in his country. Fuck him! Coming here and making my fucking life even worse. Making my life fucking worse. Couldn't go home and be happy. Couldn't go outside and be happy. I can't be happy anywhere. Sneers at me. And you fuck him, don't you? Just stare at him and don't know what to say. Feel like anything I say could set him off, but he waits patiently, expecting an answer. Clint, don't you? Shudders visibly, clenching his eyes shut. Fucking imagine. I don't even fucking care that you're screwing around with him? If I wasn't so afraid of the whole situation, I probably would have laughed just then. Take another step back. Hey, I was actually just about to head out. Oh, hey, I was just actually about to head out. You know, I'm doing this project, that's why I'm here. He glares at me. Me and Leo broke up a few years ago. We're just friends. You don't know what he's like. The things he did to me, it was way worse than what I ever did to you. But hey, I don't... Chase, are you just... I know this is such a tense situation, but we're glazing over the fact that he said this? Like, you don't know what he's like. The things he did to me, it was way worse than what I ever did to you. But hey, But hey, I do need to head out. We can talk about this later. He sees me stepping around the car, and immediately his hand shoots to the handle of the gun. Hey! I freeze, watching his hand, preparing to throw myself to the ground if he pulled it. Same time, I'm praying that he'll shoot his dick off, and if he does. He glares at me. What the hell are you even doing out here anyway? With shaking hands, I point to the camera around my neck. I told you I'm doing a project. I try to smile as I hold it up. Just about Echo? The fuck is there to say about it? His hand loosens on the pistol, and I manage to steady my voice enough to actually speak. Well, there's a history to it, you know? There's history to everything. I'm just trying to figure it out. Clint looks around, seeming to forget about his gun. Oh, like this railroad? Yeah, like this railroad. Clint's eyes are vacant as he stares at the ground. I think about making a run for it again. Oh! I jump as he snaps his head up. My dad once told me that His dad knew a guy that got killed here back in like the 50s. Oh? Despite the fact that there's a crazy meth head in front of me with a gun, I still find myself becoming interested. Yeah, like some guy was trying to hop on one, like way back then when that's how people would get around. So this guy was trying to hop on this train here when it was leaving the station, but he missed jumping on. Clint sits down in the dry and dusty weeds and spreads his leg out over the rails. And he falls down like this, and it runs over his legs. Clint brings both hands in chopping motions over his thighs. Blood goes everywhere, and yeah, he's dead, right? He looks up at me, and I realize he's actually waiting for me to answer. I guess his questions are never rhetorical. I'd assume so, right? Wrong. They found him a few hours later, and somehow the fucker's still alive. Oh. I'm already starting to doubt the story, or at least this version of it. The stumps is packed with dirt, so he stopped the bleeding, but he's gone crazy by now. He's going on about some creature that came to him and spoke whispers into his ears. Well, at the very least, I could just stick this story somewhere slow in the project to keep things somewhat interesting. One of those local urban legend type stuff. But then he goes to the hospital, and they think he's gonna live, but he jumps out the fucking window and kills himself. Then stands up and brushes himself off. My dad used to tell me that story a lot, not like I wanted to hear it, but he liked telling me things that I didn't want to hear. I didn't quite know what to say to that, but I want to keep on his good side, so I make a show of pulling a notebook out of my bag. Well, thanks, Clint. That actually helps me out a lot. But Clint is still off his own world, staring off at the trees in the distance. It's weird that you need to hear that story, because I come here because of it. For closure or something? Because of that guy. Sometimes I think I see him when I'm all high, and I hear things too. It's scary, but I do it anyways, because it's different. In this town, everything's always the same, but you can make it change if you want. If you want. At that point, he starts walking again, off the tracks and towards that group of trees. I decidedly don't follow him, instead hurriedly making my way back to Leo's house. After a lot of time to calm down on the walk back, Leo is splayed out on his couch, picking through a TV dinner on his lap. There you are. I warmed up one for you, too, but it's probably cold by now. That's alright, I'll just put it back in. Leo watches me as I head to the kitchen adjacent to the living room. Hey, what's up? My dinner is sitting on the stovetop, and I make an effort not to wrinkle my nose at it, at the sculpted rib, meat covered in barbecue sauce. Watery mashed potatoes complements the gooey mess. Nothing, just tired is all. I toss the dinner back into the microwave and set the timer for 2 minutes. As it's warming, I turn back around and lean against the counter and face Leo in the living room. Hey, I was wondering something. Huh? Leo looks back up at me, ears falling back a little. It's about Clint. Leo's brow furrows. I mean, you guys are at each other's throats. I know there's always been some animosity between you two, but I don't remember it being this bad. I frown. You guys practically wanted each other dead. Leo pins his ear at his back while he licks barbecue sauce off his fingers. I really don't know. Chase. If I had to say, I think it would be all the drugs. The drugs? Yeah, whatever he's taking, it's probably hardcore. I mean, it's a goddamn skeleton, right? Yeah, but it's not like I'm responsible for it. I just treat him like he treats everyone else. I open my mouth to hesitate, then finally ask what's been bothering me. When we were younger, would you say that you bullied him? Leo frowns. What's bringing all of this up? Nothing, I'm just curious is all. Leo starts to smooth down the fur on his head, all poofed out from the shower. I mean, I wasn't nice to him, of course, but he was an asshole to everyone else. Like I said, I did to him what he did to others. He coughs. Maybe a little worse. Worse? What he did to us was pretty bad, though. He tried to burn me with a cigarette once. See, when you tell me shit like that, I don't feel bad for anything, the things I did to his worthless ass. Red flags everywhere. My God. I'm safe from having to respond to that as the timer goes off. I turn around to pull my food out of the microwave before grabbing a plastic fork and sitting down next to Leo. We eat in a slightly awkward silence. By the time I'm almost finished, I'm feeling a little nauseous. Ugh, not to be rude, but do you always eat this stuff? Huh? He looks up with a mouthful of mashed potatoes. This microwavable dinner stuff. He swallows loudly. Yeah, you don't like it? He lowers his ears again, looking embarrassed. My dude, first we just learned that he sleeps, jerks it, and then goes to work. He punches the walls out of anger. There's 3 holes in the wall. And now he just eats dinner, microwave, I don't know, TV dinners? I don't know, that's just me. I think that's just on me. I'm just like, this is kind of weird. It's fine, I mean, it's just sad. Yeah. I look at him sheepishly. Ha, you little fucker. I bet I get better food sometimes. This is just easier. Yeah? Sure. And what qualifies as better food? The diner? Hey, it's not like I can't afford it. I make good money. I laugh. This isn't about money. I think you're lazy. Leo mock growls and leans over to grab me. I yelp theatrically, and try to hold my tray steady as he yanks me sideways to lay down against him, our heads on the armrest. Hey, I gotta throw away my tray. It's full of gross TV dinner water. Leo nuzzles into my neck. Put it on the floor. Oh, gross. You throw it away when I'm ready to get up. Since when do you decide when I can or can't get up? Red flags! Since you decided to mouth off to me, now you're the one that's gonna be cooking all my meals and cleaning up my clothes, Chula. I shiver and he responds by spooning me tighter. Clearly Leo's gagged that I'm past the point of resisting at this point in my little vacation, and he's taking advantage of it. Estoy loco por ti. He rolls the R dramatic. Can I do that? Estoy loco por ti. He rolls the R dramatically, definitely taking advantage of it. We're both too tired to do anything more, which is probably for the best, and within a few minutes I've passed out. Jeez. Friday. It's almost the end of it. How long is this game? It's almost the end of the week. Oh my god. I might re-record this and like do line for line without interruption for the episodes. So yeah, we're just gonna try to finish this off. Wow. Clint hasn't been lying after all. What? What? Leo whispers at me from across the table, not looking up from his phone. Nothing. Just finding some interesting stuff. I whisper back. Good. Leo grins, but still doesn't look up from his phone. There isn't much to go off of. After reading, though, I'm pretty skeptical. A haunted echo. The main source of my documentary. At least the bit of information I just came across referenced some newspaper articles from 1952. The young wolf named Robert Smith wasn't even a resident of Echo. He'd been resting at the Echo classification yard after taking a train from the capital. He was on his way to the West Coast, and once he thought he found the right train, he attempted to board it. No one knows exactly what happened, yet somehow his train hopping went horribly wrong, and he was found with both limbs severed 2 hours later. He'd managed to crawl 20 yards north up along the rail before he was found. Somehow, impossibly, he survived the ordeal up to the point. This was mainly due to the mud packs that had been placed in the stumps, halting the bleeding. Of note was the fact that Robert has seemingly become delirious because of the blood loss, pain, or trauma. Likely a combination of 3, actually. He claimed that the bleeding had been stopped by a creature of some kind. When he tried to describe it, he began to sob and scream incoherently. It's hard to say how much of this is being exaggerated by the author. Either way, I don't exactly have time to track down all of her sources, so I decide I'll just have to trust it. My leg jumps as something soft and ticklish brushes up against it. I snap my gaze up at Leo. What? Leo gives me an instant look while he continues to brush his tail up against my leg. Well, if you're not going to say anything, then please stop doing that. It's distracting. He does stop. Then I feel a little guilty, so I look back up. And thanks for getting the library card just so I could check this out. It's a huge help. He smiles. No problem. Nutria. Not one of your sexy words. I returned back to the book. It's unlikely that Robert would have survived anyway due to the extent of his injuries and infection. Still, it is of note that he ended up committing unaliving a few hours after discovery. He apparently slipped out of the 5th floor window of the Peyton Regional Medical Center. Though authorities simply dismissed it as a case of a man knowing that his demise was nigh and finishing the job himself, the author speculates it had something to do with the horrors he saw on the tracks. I heard a soft whine come from in front of me, and I lowered the book to find Leo draped across the table on his chest. He's looking up at me with huge puppy dog eyes. I can't help but smile because it's so fucking adorable, even for a wolf as big as him. What? I have a project to do, remember? Yeah, I know, but we've been here for like 3 hours now. You should take a break. I look at the time and I'm shocked that he's actually right. How the hell did that happen? Well, I guess that's a good idea. I was just finding some really interesting stuff. I'm sure that project of yours is gonna turn out awesome. He grins and stands up abruptly, grabbing my book up as well so I couldn't continue to read. Let's go get some lunch. It's already almost 3. All right. Did you want to go to the diner? You want to eat there? Well, it's been a few days. I'd like to catch up with the others, you know? I know that's what you wanted to do. Actually, everyone's busy. I already tried. Oh, really? What are they doing? Well, Flynn's working, TJ and Jenna are on a hike, and Carl's asleep. Oh. It doesn't really seem like Leo to just blow off meeting up with everyone. But I guess at this point in the trip, he's just tired of trying. I know I would be. Probably just to show me up after what I said last night, Leo takes me to a semi-fancy steakhouse. He, of course, insists on paying for everything, though I'm not really sure when Leo became so concerned with how I perceive his income. Maybe it's because he called out the TV dinners last night and the diner. I don't mind, though. The meals is good, and I'm happy not to pay 30 bucks. That's not, that may be a lot, but like not that much. It does remind me of his job, though. So I ask him about his schedule. He says his parents gave him the entire week off, which surprises me. I remember how Leo worked almost every day in that shop. I guess his dad is just mellowing out with age. Again, I have no reason to complain, though. On the way back, Leo nudges me as I'm nodding off and gestures out his window. Peyton High. Sure enough, our old school is visible out there in the window. Want to swing around? Just to look at it? Yeah. I'm tired, but we're not doing anything else. All right, why not? It's past 5 at this point, and we pull up into the parking lot. There are only a few cars scattered around. We walk around the side of the school, then onto the football field. If Peyton High School put its money anywhere else, it was definitely sports. That was one of the reasons I was so mediocre by comparison. Every sport in the school was extremely competitive, each one winning state regularly. They win state again since I've been gone? Nope. Came close last year, though. Almost as close as we did back in 09. Ah, yeah, you're still sore about that. Leo sits down on top of the bench of the concrete bleachers, and I sit down next to him. Sometimes, mostly because we were so damn close, it really just feels like it was yesterday. It does kind of feel that way. I can remember it pretty clearly. It was one of the few times I'd seen Leo really cry. He wanted that championship so bad. He leaned back and looked around, breathing deeply. Wow. It really is nostalgic being here, isn't it? Leo looks off towards the sunset, and I can see him getting glassy-eyed. Is it weird that if I could, I'd go through high school again? I think for a moment. Yes, it's weird. For me, that's weird. Chase is also weird. Not really. I like to do it. I made a lot of mistakes. Well, not really because of that. More like it was a lot of fun. I just want to experience all again. We all feel that as adults because of responsibilities. I grin at him. Hey, You're talking like you peaked in high school. Did I? The question catches me completely off guard. My stumbling around for words that follow doesn't help. No! He sighs. Leo, you've got a good paying job, you own your house, a pretty damn good life. You're doing better than most. He laughs a little. I guess I just don't feel like it, you know? Why not? He leans back. Well, I don't really feel as good as I did back then. When I think of high school or even further back. Man, those were the good old days. Also a red flag if they reminisce about high school like this in a way that it sounds like that they peaked in high school. I think about how completely inverse I am to that, how my life improved exponentially after I left the town. Well, you know, if you keep looking back, I don't think you'll ever be happy. Aww. That's cute. Also, wow, this place is disheveled. I think it's just the gate, but like, goddamn. Like, look at this. Like, this is wholesome. All this is just... It looks like this is boarded up, too. Like, damn. I wrap my arm around his shoulders, which is a little difficult considering how broad they are. Because 5 years from now, you'll probably look back on this era of your life and think, man, I wish I could go back. You're probably right. So, let's just enjoy it now. Leo sighs again and looks straight down at me, meeting my eyes. Chase? Yeah? He pauses, looking to the side before turning his eyes back on mine. I love you. I immediately look away. Chase, please just come back. I miss you so much every day. I stare out across the field, not able to meet his eyes again. I'll stop smoking. Whoa, so many red flags. But like, you'll say all this. Well, what's stopping you from returning back to all this if you break up or if he dies? Like, oh my God, this is this is hitting way too close to home right now. This is hitting way too close. Holy fuck. I'll stop smoking. I'll stop picking on Clint. I'll get rid of the gun. Just please come back. It's just, I don't know, Leo. You know how I don't like it here. And I feel like I should keep my options open to find a good job, a good place to live. Just for a year or two while you're getting on your feet. I'll give you a place to stay. That sounds great, Leo, but to get back together, that's like setting ourselves up for another breakup, and I don't want to do that. This scene is good. It just hits too close to home. This really is... Ooh, comfy is not comfy right now. But then we know for sure, without parents or school in the way, it'll just be us. And then even if it doesn't work out, there's some closure there. Is there? For the first time, I feel like seeing things from Leo's point of view. I'm not necessarily losing anything by at least trying. Ooh. Girl, no. There are so many red flags in here that there's just a big warning sign on him. This is so much. Holy crud. Oh my God. But he's right. No, he's not. There really wasn't any closure, mostly because of me. Burn that bridge. Leo must sense my indecision because he immediately presses forward. And I'll be making enough to support you while you figure things out. Hey, I don't want to be a mooch. I don't mind. I just want you to be comfortable so you can do what you want to do. But Echo... Leo's quiet for a long while before he finally speaks up. Now that I can't fix, but I guess one way to decide is to weigh that what's more important to you. I want to throw a book at the wall. You're asking me to choose? I'm not asking that exact. Yes, you are. But if I did... Oh! I blow out a long sigh. Please say, so you are. He doesn't say anything, so my mind starts wandering over the years we spent together. Despite how much we fight... Oh, the music stopped. There's no question in my mind what the answer is, and it hits me like a thunderbolt. Am I going to have to choose? Well, no. No, 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 no. We've seen his computer. We know what he does. He literally was never over you. So many people have gave you warnings. Well, I choose you. All at once, his face explodes into a grin. So much happiness in one expression that I don't think I'd ever be able to take that back, what I just said, even if I wanted to. The fact that he's second guessing right there and then. It's a lot. And I'm instantly wrapped up in a tight, warm hug, one that crushes the airs from my lungs. Oh my god, Chase, oh god. Oh my god. Comfy's so, this is such a good, it's a good story, but like this hits too close to home and this hurts so much in a bad way. Oh my god, Chase, I love you so fucking much. Hey, but you still got a year of school left, so we're going to have to get back into contact when we're going to have to exchange. I clasp his muzzle shut with my hand around it, and he just stares back at me with wide eyes. I didn't even say yes. I take my hand away from his muzzle. Oh, well, what do you say? The fact that you didn't hear. I look back at Leo. Yes. Jeez. And then he's kissing me. It's not rough like it was on the train yard. His mouth stayed closed, but he holds my head gently, and it's like he's trying to pour all of his love into me through his lips. As ridiculous as it might sound, I can feel it. This feels so bad. Comfy's gonna need like a moment, probably. Oh my god, wait. Well, this is a great moment as ever to just like let's go to the just chatting screen for a bit and just talk about this, because like, oh no, not even the game is just thumping. So like, I like understand what's going on, and I understand like he is literally like, he still loves him. The moment he left, he regrets everything. He misses him to the point of obsession, and to the point that we see those type of things on his computer. Like it's creepy and a complete red flag, and like the entirety of like bringing him back to the high school to reminisce of nostalgia is really, really like, I don't know, it's concerning and it hurts. Like it's weird. Like it's not a good thing at all. Like it's it's not a good thing. Like, okay, when I first played through this, I was like, Leo's so cringy and obsessed as hell. But like, it's not. I wasn't talking about like it's not the cringe that's bothering me. It's the sexual obsession from the computer, plus the like controlling nature that he's giving off, to the point of he's super defensive of anyone talking to Chase. Clingy. Why do I read it as cringy? I can't. I need to. I feel like I have dyslexia at this point. I'm like flipping words, but like, it's very clingy to the point where it's a creepily obsessive. Like, I think there's more to it in the back as a backstory. Like, he probably went downhill to the point where like the fact that he's alone in this house, he's only living in his own bedroom, not changing up anything within the house. He still works at the parents' job, which is it's fine, it pays well, but like his living conditions are offsetting. Like, I get like like the anger portion being like punching a wall. Like, you would plaster that shit up, but like he left that, those are still there. Like, he's absolutely lonely as fuck. That doesn't give an excuse. Like, stuck in the old ways. He's, holy fuck, it's just so uncomfortable. They were right. This is a very emotionally intense experience and may not be for everyone. But like, I get it. Like, it's a good story. It really is. It's just like it hits way too close to home with this type of thing. Okay. All right, let's go back to it. They were making out on the bed and doing spicy things. That's what we skipped over. I listen as Leo showers down the hall, and I smile as I hear him sing. I'd usually shower with him back in the day, but I was so tired I passed out as soon as we both finished. Once I opened my eyes again, Leo was already in the shower. I'm about to drift off again when I hear Leo's phone buzz. He'd been on it all day, probably trying to coordinate a meeting with the others. It's already Friday, which is hard to believe. We had to get together again before we lost this chance. I look over, the screen's already lit up, so I sit up and look. A message from Flynn. Yeah, well, fuck you too. Not a surprising message, but I still wonder what they're fighting about. From the sounds of it, Leo is still in the middle of his shower, still rocking his diva pop song. Now we're gonna check the phone. With some amount of guilt, I reach over and grab the phone and open up his text. Immediately, I see a few pinned conversations. They're from me. Judging by the dates, they're from when I was still away at college. There's also a few saved attachments, and I quickly swipe away to the other more recent conversations. The latest from earlier this morning, it looks like it was from Flynn. Chase has a project to do. Bullshit, you're fucking with him again, huh? I'm helping him. You planned this from the start, didn't you? What? This whole thing is to get back in his pants. How about I plan this after you ruined the entire week, huh? Yeah, well, fuck you too. I frown. It's too bad Leo and Flynn are still fighting, but for some reason their exchange has me feeling uneasy. I pull up the next recent text, one from Carl. Carl asked Leo when we're hanging out again. Yesterday night. Leo pokes some fun at him about sleeping in the crawl space. Then Leo tells him that he isn't sure that... Leo never asked me. I feel my heart start to pound. Today, Carl texted again asking how are things going. Leo tells him that I wanted to go to the high school for nostalgia's sake. I was fucking right. I was fucking right. I knew that. Chase, you gotta get out of this house. Chase, you gotta get out of this house. He sent that 2 hours before we even got there. Then Jenna asks if Leo is avoiding her. Everything's fine, but again, I'm too busy to hang out. Hey, yesterday was so much fun. I know you said you were probably going to be busy, but I wanted to check. Chase is still pretty sad about what happened Monday. I think he needs more time. Oh, okay. Please tell him I'm sorry. He told me it was fine yesterday, but I guess he must have been faking it for my sake. Yeah, he's still pretty broken up. We'll figure it out, though. Oh, God. Oh, God. This really hits too close to home. Oh, my God. He's isolating him from his friends. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. Ooh. My stomach twists up as I realize that now I have to confront him about this. No, you're running away. You're leaving this. This is when we leave. We get our clothes, we leave the house, and we go back to our 2 other friends that we came here with and talk to them and like figure something out because this is really bad. I hug my knees and stare at the wall, feeling strangely violated now. As I stare, I see a dark spot with spindly legs move across the wall. The spider pauses as if acknowledging me before disappearing into a dark corner. I feel so uncomfortable. This is so fucking uncomfortable. I sit on hard, uneven ground, shivering as I try to cover myself up with a blanket.